Hello guys! Sorry, I'm a little bit excited. I'm a little bit energized. I've made a coffee and I've done a lot of work today, catching up with things. My name's Mike and this is Unity and the version is 2022.3.26F1. This is a university project I'm working on. It's a 2D platformer and we're using Visual scripting or the script graph or script machine to code the game. So the reason I'm a little bit energized is because I've caught up with all my handouts and things have been getting a bit hectic. I'm making 3 games this trimester. It's quite a lot of pressure. One's a group game, got this platformer, and then the other game is a clicker. So basically today I've managed to obtain what I think is the majority of assets that I need to essentially kind of add in a load of mechanics that I've been wanting to. So going through my list, what I want to do tonight is I want to add a Jumpthru platform and a magic statue trap. So essentially I wanted to have a section where there's going to be some kind of wooden jump through platforms, and then you've kind of got these kind of statue / gargoyle heads that will shoot these like blue orbs, like blue magical fireballs. So I thought that'd be quite cool to do. So I've also, checkpoint is something I'd like to do. So I feel like I'm talking a lot and not doing any action, guys. So if we have a quick recap of what we've got in the game so far. So we have, we do have sound. We've got a jump sound effect. We have this taking damage. We've got the health pickup. If we die in here, we respawn. I've added that in. I did that off stream earlier today. So 1 second delay when you die. Welcome to the stream. We have the coin pickup. We've got the health pickup. I do want to add in the gem at some point. So, oh my god. That's quite funny. So at the moment, we only have one. Oh, hold on. Well, that's strange. I've just noticed that the hierarchy. That was really weird. It was all empty a second ago. Right. So we have the platforms, which are all of these. If I zoom out, these are the platforms. So I've got dirt platforms at the moment. What I wanted to have was a wooden platform. Now, if I just look at my list, Pixel Fantasy Caves is the one with the wooden platforms I found earlier today. So if I just double click this, you can see the art style is a bit too detailed. It doesn't really fit. It's almost too detailed to match the aesthetic look I have for my game. It's a very nice pack, but it's almost too detailed. But there is this tiny section up here that I wanted, which is this wooden platform. It's perfect. In most video games, passable platforms, they tend to be wooden, not so much solid. I know in like Sonic the Hedgehog you had certain areas where you had like the mounds of raised kind of dirt, if you like, with grass on top, which you could jump on. But I just liked I spotted the wood on this one and I was like that'll be perfect. So in here I have the different sprites. They're 16 by 16, so we know the size of those fits the other assets that I have. So what I can actually do, if I go into my prefabs, platforms, dirt, basically what we want to do, if I double click that, yeah, so it's the game object with the collider, and then the sprite renderer handles the physical appearance. Now I could very easily just add in platforms and then paint on top of them with the tile map, tile palette, but I didn't want to do it that way. I'd rather have the prefabs that I've made that are specific lengths that I can just drop into the environment without having to paint on top of them, because I've already decided on the look. So what we will do is, I think with the wooden platforms, I think I'll go for a 1x3, or a 3x1, sorry. So what I need to do, we're going to create an empty, and we're going to call this, what have I named the other one? Dirt. P. Oh, that's a shame. I haven't given it another name. Like, why did I call it P? Prefab. Why did I not? Okay, well, I don't know why I didn't give that a decent name. I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it PT for pass through. Hold on, no, that doesn't make sense. P for platform is for the dirt. So if I just call this wood. No, it doesn't make sense. No, P for platform. Wood. Wooden. And if I just do 3x1. So we know it's a platform, we know it's wooden, and it's 3x1. So that is, if I just reset these to 0, 0, 0. Where is that? That is there. So if I get the grid up, yeah, there we go. So that should be perfectly in a corner. Okay, so now what we want to do is, if I just look at the prefab of these guys, you can see it's just the game object, and then we have 2 sprite renders, and pretty sure that was 16 by 16. So if I just go back out of that prefab, go into this, we're going to create 2D object sprite square, and if we move that onto there, and then if we just do the position, so the offset, it needs to be 0.5, 0.5, no, is that right? Yes, it is. Yeah. So you see for the game object, you see the blue outline, it's perfectly in the grid. If I click on the square, it's now the same. The reason why we're not seeing that is because of the layering, the order in the layer. So I think if I set that to like 5, yeah. There we go. What layer have I set as the player? 9. I'll put them as 10. So maybe the layering is what we can sort as kind of like a final stage. I might do 5 actually for that layer, and 4 for that one. And if I go back to the square, so basically this is a 3x1. So remember I said about the asset pack. So if I go into Pixel Fantasy Caves, And we want to go for the sliced because the sliced is going to be, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's beautiful. The sliced is going to be the sprite sheet chopped up. So if I go on this section here, you can see the ledge that we've got. So if I click on my square there, click on my square and drag that up there, we have a ledge. And then you can see as well, that does look pretty, that is definitely within the thingy. Right, so now, how have I labelled the other one? If I call this wood A, so it's kind of like, I tended to do this, so it's essentially A, B, C, D, you know, so going from left to right, so wood A would be the far left, so on and so forth. So if I just copy that and call this wood B, and then the position of this one needs to go across on the x-axis by, I think, is it 1 or, no, it would be 1.5. There we go. So 1.5, and then if we get another bit of wood and maybe go for, this bit looks good. So I'll drag that up to there. And if we click, oh, look at that. That looks fantastic. It's quite, the character looks quite small now compared to the ledge. So that's good. Now, if I copy that and rename that as C, and then we do the same thing here, guys. So we're going to add 1 to that, so 2.5. And we're going to drag this up to here. And there we have it. There is our ledge. I won't be able to pass through because I've not added a platform or anything onto it, but that looks pretty cool. It's quite thick, isn't it? It's quite thick. But it does match. It does kind of match the aesthetics. Yeah, I like that. Right, so what we need to do, we now need to go on here. Let's go to my prefabs platforms. So the layer needs to be platform. Yes, change to children. How is it on here? Are they the same? Yeah, they're the same. Okay. So that is now classed as a platform, and if I go on here, we can see we need to add the box collider 2D. Okay, so I'll go on here and we add components, so box collider 2D. Okay. And we're going to sort the offset, so 0.5, 0.5. So that is on the grid, but we need to make it bigger to fit. So I think 1.5, or is it? It'd be the same, wouldn't it? 2.5. So that should theoretically be 2. No. That looks good. Yeah, that's spot on. Okay, so now that we have that, I should be able to jump on top of it. Hey! I kind of want to temporarily turn off that cube because it is doing my head in. I'm going to just untick the cube. We know it's there. It's more of a reference for me. We'll turn that off. And we'll just check that. If we zoom out. So we have this platform. So you'll notice we jump up, we can't currently jump through it. So we need to add on a component to this, which is, it's called like a pass through component. Effector, platform effector. Okay. So what this platform effector does, if I click on that, why am I not seeing that? Ah, used by effector. There we go. So you have to tick this box here, used by effector, and what that does is it kind of determines which part you can kind of go through. Collider mask, everything. Sides. Side arc. I wonder why. So that is apparently the section. I wonder why it doesn't feel like everything. Platform, everything. Let's just do everything. Okay, and then if I just test that, I should be able to jump through it. So if I jump on top of it, if I jump up. Hey, look at that! I've kind of put that in a very tricky, precarious way. Hold on, why did I just go jumping up really high there? That was strange. Now, why is that not stretching? Oh, now it's working. Oh, so it is working. Okay, that's good. Sides. Use side arc. Oh, that's good. So I can actually assign. I'm assuming that means I can say how much of it is to kind of be passed through. So I don't know if you noticed that, but when I was jumping into it from the side, if I just show you what was happening, if I jumped at the side, it was kind of like, you see that? I'm kind of getting stuck there, like, whereas if I go under, so if I adjust that side arc, you can see that the grey, the blue, the cyan coloured thing in the centre there is adjusting. So if I set that to 45, let's see if that makes a difference. I feel like that's actually made it worse. Alright, let's reset that to 1. What does it say it does? Okay. Let's just leave that as it is. I mean, it is working. I have placed it in a bit of a precarious position given that we have the slime there. So if I just grab that and maybe move that over here. Save and test. Oh, it's a little bit too high. Let's move it down one. Okay. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm not sure whether to make it a little bit longer. Because I mean, I could make it longer, couldn't I? Let's do that, guys. We'll copy that and we'll call it a 4x1, and we will copy that. No, hold on. No, delete that. We'll copy B. We'll call C D. We'll call B C. And this one will move across on the X by 1 value, so that'd be 3.5. And then if I just move that up and get the C, so the C will go across to 2.5, and then I can actually change that texture to the maybe this middle one. Let's try that. Nice. So a little bit longer. Ah, right, the collider, that's why. We need to make the box collider, needs to be 3.5. And then if we just adjust that to 2, there we go. So now that is functioning the whole length. So if I just click off of there, save, play, we'll just test that. I'm just going to nudge that up 1. Why am I getting stuck on an invisible thing? I think those platforms look really cool. I like them. Oops, I died. I really like that, guys. So that is literally our pass-through platform. So we have a 4x1, so we have 4 components, 4 sprites. It's 4x1 in length. We have a 3x1. I'm happy with those for the time being, so I'm going to go into my prefab, and in the platform I'm going to call this wooden. Okay, and I'm going to drag these two. I'll do them one at a time. There we go. And then in the platforms we're going to create an empty, and we're going to do a hyphen wooden, hyphen. Okay, and then we can move these prefabs into here because this is just keeping everything nice and tidied. I do hyphens. I do triple hyphen for like the parent folder, and then subfolders have just a single hyphen. Just my way of like at a quick glance you can see which are folders. Just keeps it nice and clear. So sorry, 1 second, guys. Just got to pump some insulin. So if we just zoom out here. So I know at the moment it's kind of like a little bit of a playground, but this is kind of how I tackled the first game in Unreal. For those that watched my previous streams on Unreal, when I was making the first person survival, you would have seen the same environment, but I was implementing new mechanics. And then when it was all done, I then smashed out the level design, got that all working. I've already got this level basically planned on graph paper, and because it's 2D, it's going to be fairly quite quick to place things exactly where I want them, because you know when I press D on here we get the grid. I know exactly how many based on my graph paper. I can just drag everything where I need it to. So I'm happy with these platforms. They do look a tiny bit big compared to our character, but I don't really want my character being any bigger because everything's to scale. So, you know, I'm happy with the size of those. It's just the right height as well. Like, she perfectly jumps. She perfectly jumps to that height and reaches it with no problem. I think that's really cool. Why does the slime go backwards and do the moonwalk, dude? Oh my god. Right, so I've added the Jumpthru platform. Bosh. One job out of the way. Next, I want to add in a magical statue trap. Now, this is going to be... It's kind of going to be... what is it going to be? Why have I hidden the HUD on there? Why did I do that? Huh. So basically, for the magic statue trap, I'm just looking at my notes I did earlier. Where is it? Grotto Escape 2. Is it a prefab? No. Tiles. So this snakehead here is what I wanted to go for. Oh, hold on. Right, so for the snakehead, it's 32 by 32. So if we were to shrink the scale of that, so basically, I want to have the snakehead shoot this magic projectile. So I'm just thinking, for the time being, I could potentially, like, I could stretch this area here. So if I copied that platform and then just moved it along a few spaces, I know that it doesn't match up with the dirt there in the middle, but that's fine. This isn't the final level design. This is just getting things functioning. I'm just going to paint the I'm just going to paint the environment just like that. Okay. Come out of that. Okay, so I've just added a bit more dirt. So what I'm going to do here, I kind of want to temporarily, I basically want to just create a little test zone for these traps I'm about to make. So if I copy that and just move that down there, and then if I do the rotation on the Y, no, no. Would it be on the Z? Oh, okay. So we'll do 90. Right, so I think that's about right, isn't it? I want to see the grid. Not sure why it doesn't do that. Where's the tile palette? 1 second, guys. Where's the option? Why can't I find the option to bring up the tile map? Tile palette. There we go. So we can see that is in place. I just need to check if I can go underneath that. I should be able to. It's the same height as the wooden platform. Okay. I'm going to create an empty and just call this magic test area. So it's literally just the area where I'm going to be testing the projectiles. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the edge. Right, so this is what I'm excited about. Okay, so to make my magic trap, we're going to... I'm going to call it... it's a trap, so we have the spike trap. So if I call it magic trap, maybe? Magic trap. Trap spike. Okay, let's call it trap magic. Keep things consistent. Trap magic. Okay. And then if I just go on here, you can see we have on the inspector, we have the kind of parent, if you like, which has the collider, and then the things below it are literally just the sprite renderer. Okay, so we will add a 2D sprite, and then we will go to my Pixel Fantasy Jumpthru platform. Hold on. Jumpthru platform is Pixel Fantasy Caves. So we've done the Jumpthru platform. Okay. Hope you're enjoying the stream, guys. I'm excited for this one. We've created prefabs for the wooden platforms. And now we're adding in the shooting magic trap. So in Grotto Escape 2, we're going to the tiles and we're going to get the snake head. So with the trap magic, you can see here, if I just move that, you can see again the pivot's correct. So we first need to just sort out the offset. So it's going to be 0.5, 0.5. And you can see now that blue square is dead center to the grid. Okay, so now when I drag the snake head on, bearing in mind that this snake head is 32 by 32, it's probably going to be twice the size, so we'll have to scale that down. So I'm going to click on my square. I'll go call this sprite. What did I call it on the oh, S1. I'll just keep it as that because it is the sprite. Okay, this is the make or break. As expected, it's huge. Oh, that does look cool. That does look formidable. Right, so we need to, let's try and scale that head down. So if I do 0.5, oh, I get that, 0.5, does that, oh yeah, see, I knew it. So 32 by 32 is 16 doubled, so essentially we just halved the scale and it's got it fitting perfectly where we want it. And that's kind of what I wanted, guys. I just wanted it to be plonked on the side. So we want it to be up though. So on the position, we need to go up 1, I think. Yep, there we go. And then if I click the trap magic, you can see there it's perfectly inside the grid there, guys. It's perfectly inside the grid. So oh, that does look cool. I was really struggling earlier, guys. I was on the asset store looking for a kind of 2D pointing left or pointing right thing like this, where it's kind of just like a statue head, you know, like Sonic has this in Sonic 2, the aquatic zone, I think it's called. You have the pillars that rise up and they shoot arrows, but there's so many other games where you have kind of gargoyles or stone sections that shoot projectiles towards the player, and that's kind of what I wanted. I just wanted something stone looking, you know, like a contraption. But that does look really, really cool. And if we just test that and see how big it looks in game compared to the player. Should it be bigger? Should that be bigger? I think that's okay, actually. I think that's okay. I mean, if we want to make it bigger, we can do. Yeah, I think that's a good size. That does look good, doesn't it? Okay, so that is the trap. So now what we need to do, magic trap, grotto escape 2. Okay, so that's the magic trap. Next is a spawner. We need to make a projectile. I mean, would that go under a trap? It kind of would. I'm going to... Where is... just 1 second. So I'm not going to do the... oh, sorry. Losing my voice. I'm not going to do the other sections to this trap just yet. I mean, we need to have a spawner on there, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I just want to get the projectile sorted. So I'm going to create an empty. I'm going to call this trap magic projectile. Okay, and then my projectile is in the warped shooting FX. What was this? Nice. Oh, I like that. That's a good tune. Okay, so we don't need the scene. Right, so I think I was going to go for like this. Do we have them as prefabs or not? That feels a bit too big. I think a bolt is a sensible size. Charged is way too big. That's like a Kamehameha wave. Crossed is cool. I feel it's a bit too colourful though. Pulse. No, pulse again. Spark is too long. Waveform's too long. I think it will have to be the bolt. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to create a sprite square, and we're going to call this sprite, and I'm going to God, I don't even know which one. Would it be that first, maybe? Right, first off, let's just sort out the 0.5, 0.5, so it's on there. Right, so we get the sprite, so why is the size of that? Is it 48 by 32? Dude, that is so small. Now we're going to need to add why is the scale so small, dude? That is like really small. That's almost like a... That's so small, dude. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's go for 2. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Hey! Welcome, legend. Welcome to the stream, bro. Thanks for tuning in. How are you doing tonight? Oh, that looks really, really good. Oh, dude. If I was to lower that down, it would be in line with the mouth. Dude, that is so cool. Right, let me just get the sprite. And on the Y, if I put that as 0... Oh, that's a bit too low. So 0.5. So if I do 0.4, 0.2, 0.3... That's more in line with it, isn't it? No, this is Unity. This is... Unity version is 2022.3.26 F1. I haven't used Godot or Godot. I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but no, this is Unity, dude. Oh, nice. Which software are you using, dude? That looks so good. Right, we're going to add an animator onto this. Oh, nice, Unreal. I did a stream, I can't remember if it was earlier today or yesterday. But I was working with arrays, and it was quite intense. Nice. I do love a horror game. I do love a horror game, dude. That's the controller. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, that's fine. Sorry, I was getting a bit confused there. Oh, I need to put the controller on. So if I play that, let's see if that animation works. Yeah, I was on yesterday, dude. Oh my god, look at that bolt. Dude. It looks too small, doesn't it? Compared to my character, I feel that could be bigger. Yeah, I streamed my group project, Space Invaders type game. I did a stream. It was yesterday. And I was working with arrays first time first time doing it. I think I must have spent about five hours setting it up. But if you look on my YouTube panel below, that will take you to my YouTube channel. I post all of my game dev streams there, and that's where I had the where I've posted it. I don't want to widen the mouth anymore. The snakehead thing isn't going to be animated. Two just feels too small. 3 feels too big. What about 2.5? 2.5 is a bit better, isn't it? That feels better. Let's just go check it out. Oh, that's better, isn't it? If I just zoom out of there. That's good, isn't it? I like that. That's a reasonable size. So, I increased the scale by 0.5. I'm happy with that. That is about the right size to the character. So, that is cool, dude. Right, so what we need to do now, we have the magic projectile. We need to add a collider to that. So, I think I need to have a rigid body as well. So on here, so we're not going to add it to the sprite, because if I go to my other trap, for example this prefab, you can see I have the 4 subsections which handle the image, and then the main container, if you like, has the box collider, and it's a trigger. So if we go on the magic projectile, box collider, if I set that to 0.5. Oh, bollocks. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. What am I doing? Sorry, I got completely confused there. Why was I playing around with that? I did not mean to do that. Oh my god, look at that. Because of the layering, I can actually have it spawn. Oh, dude! Dude! Oh, that's amazing. So the layering of the sprite is 0, but because that is where is that is it, like the thing actually looks like it's coming out of its mouth. Oh, that's perfect. Dude, look at that. So it can actually, I can actually have it spawn. I could theoretically have it spawn here and go like, oh dude, that is so awesome. Okay, let's add the box collider. Right, so I need to do the offset here. So 0.5, 0.5. The size of it on the Y needs to be half, I think. And if I put that back to 0, so 0.5, no, let's try 0.4. So it's basically, it needs to be a little bit bigger. It's funny you say that. Many years ago, when Game Maker first came out, I'm talking in the very early days, when I was at school, I did have Game Maker, and I made the shittest side scroller. It wasn't there. All it was I drew a zombie in like paint, and I drew a lamb with a red bandana and called him Lambo, and he basically shot bullets, and you just side scrolled across the screen. I don't even think it was that long. That was it. You just pressed the button, you created bullets, and that was it. So yes, I am familiar with Game Maker, and there's also quite a few good games that have been made with it. Fantastic piece of software. Right, we need to get this collider box sorted. I'm just wondering, should I have the collider? I feel like I want to have the collision, because if you look here, I only think I should have the collider for the main bulk of it, like this circular section. I feel it would be a bit unfair on the player if I had it as kind of, I don't know, it would just feel a little bit unfair if I was setting it to be the entire length of this, because technically the end of this is more a trail. This is where the bulk of the energy is going to hit the player, in this spherical part. So I think I'm going to be kind to the player. Right, so the offset, I think that needs to be 2525. Okay, that needs to go up maybe 6. About there, 2.7. And then offset, no. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good to me. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that is the collision box. So you can see the tail end of this projectile isn't going to damage the player. It's when they hit the spherical section. I think that's very fair. I think I'm being fair to the player there. The garage hit. No, I think that's fair, because it's more a trailing effect, isn't it? Like if we go and watch this in action, let's, like, when it comes to traps and things, like, oh, whoops, forgot about the slime. Yeah, like you can see the animation there. Like this you got to remember as well. This projectile is going to be going left. It's going to be going, it's going to be going across the screen. It's not just going to be sitting there. I'm just wondering if I should move that up ever so slightly. Let's move it up just a tad. So if I do, I think it's got to be 0.3. Okay, maybe up one more. That's better. Kind of needs to come across one as well. So 0.1. That's perfect. Okay, so we're going to set that as a trigger. Is a trigger. Perfect. Alright, so that is the magic projectile. We've got the sprite for it. We've got the animation for it. So I'm just trying to think. Spawner. Bear with me, guys. That's the trap, box collider, trigger. Move it across. I'm just trying to think the best way to do this because I think with the spawner, like if I was to click on that in the environment and just like do that and click delete, it will get rid of it, and I don't want it gone. It's like it needs to be. That's really tricky actually, because I'm going to give it a tag of projectile. I'm just trying to think how to do this because the little handout I've got that handles respawning, it's like I have the projectile there, like I kind of have to have it in the scene. Fuck. Right, 1 second. 1 second. Okay, so it's an instantiate. Okay, so I need to add I think actually I'm just gonna for the spawner script. Yeah, okay. Trap magic. I think I'm gonna add it there. It's kind of like I need to have that projectile hidden in the game. Does that mean visible? I can't really... Oh. What does this blue bar mean next to... Okay, so if I turned... Right, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Script machine. Okay, so we need to go new. And this is going to be called... we'll call it spawner underscore projectile. Save. Okay. Okay. So if I go on there. Right, so basically this projectile here needs to remain in the scene but kind of hidden. So on the script graph, you have to bear with me while I set this up. So it's going to be custom event, spawn projectile. And then we need to get instantiate this one. And then we're going to go on the object and we're going to type object to spawn. It's going to be a game object, and I'm pretty sure it was that. So this goes into there. Alright, and then the position is going to be the position of the trap. So we're going to do get position of this, which is the magic trap. Okay. And then we need a weird thing, which is called quaternion. Pretty sure it's quaternion literal. Ah, I was right. I was right. I didn't need to have it in the scene. If I just copy, oh, you know what? I'm just going to copy the X, the Y, and the Z. Now I should be able to delete that. Click on that. And then drag that there. There we go. So I didn't have to have it in the zone. I created the prefab of it, and then I dragged the prefab up to here. Job done. Perfect Amungo. Right. So what we want to do is, this is the custom event for spawn projectile. So it should create oh right, sorry, yeah. Yeah. So that should spawn the projectile. And what we can temporarily do is keyboard event on keyboard input. If I just have it as, I don't know, E. Just to test it works. Copy that, paste that, save, play. You ready? Moment of truth. So if I now press E, I should spawn a projectile. Oh, dude. Oh, baby. Awesome. So we just made a load of those projectiles there. That's perfect. Okay. So it works. It creates the projectile. But we basically want the magic trap to, on tick, kind of create it. So you need to kind of have a graph variable, I believe, that would handle these variables are shared across the current game object. Yeah, so it's like you need to go into the magic projectile and add some script to the magic projectile. Hold on a second. Right. Get rid of that. Let's just put a note around this. And we'll call this spawns a projectile at the position of the magic trap. Okay, so that handles the spawning. So we need to have something. It's like we need to have something that restricts it from casting too many times. So we want to have it as spawn limit and that's going to be an integer with a value of 1. So we only allow 1 to be spawned at any time. Spawns a projectile. So the trap magic It needs to be on fixed on update. So on update, I feel like first off we need to get the projectile moving. Let's do that. Let's go back into the prefab for this, and that handles the animation. This needs to have a script machine on there. We'll just, no, hold on. Graph. Spawner projectile. Hold on. What's the spawner projectile? 1 second. Spawner projectile. So that handles the trap magic. So, yeah, sorry guys. I'm just making sure I do this right. So we're going to call this, I'm going to call this projectile movement. Projectile movement? Yeah, let's just call it that. Okay. Right, so we're basically going to get this moving. So, a quick and easy way to just check this. Hold on. Trap magic projectile. Oh my god. So trap magic. Got the projectile there, the graph there. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was going into the enemy slime. So the movement, so yeah, get the time. So if I just copy this code, go into the thing there, script graph. If I just paste this code roughly, so I can see I need to add I'm going to add it to the object itself. So I'm going to call this movement speed. It's going to be a float. I'll set that to 5. So we're going to get the time. We're going to also, we need to get the starting position. So the starting position. Oh, actually no, it'd just be get actor's location really. So okay, get the right. So this is the movement code I have from another object. So I'm just going to kind of not fully copy it, but use it as a bit of a guideline. So we get the time, we get the movement speed. We're going to multiply those together. And we're going to get location, get local position of this, which is the projectile. So we know it spawns. We know it spawns at the trap. We know that, guys. Okay. So we know that its local position is going to be where it spawned at the trap. So I'm only going to be adjusting the X. So we're going to get the Y. We'll plug the Y in because that's going to be the same. Okay. And then we need to get the X. And then, so this makes it move. Oh! Whoops. So then we're going to need to subtract, I think. We're going to need to subtract get the time, get the movement speed, get the X, subtract. So by subtracting, it should move it left, I think. X, Y, left, right, yeah. Let's just test that. I think that will work. If I go on here. Hold on a second. Did I just do that wrong? No, that is correct. That's the movement. Let's just... Right. Let's see if this works. So it should spawn. It should spawn the projectile and it should move. No. God damn it. Oh, is it because I didn't set? Oh, you pillock. I didn't do this, guys. I missed a step. Silly me. Silly me. Let's try that again, shall we? It should move. Hold on, why is it disappearing? Why was it disappearing? It created it. Thanks for the spam view, Mole. Get the X. What did I do wrong? Get the local position. Subtract should be working though. That should maybe the movement speed should be -1. So it goes left, maybe. Let's try that. Maybe that's why. Instead of subtracting. So if I'm saying the movement speed's -1, then it should be going the other way, I think. I could be wrong. Where are they? You know what? Instead of getting the position, 30 minus. You know what? I'm just going to set the custom position. I can always change this. The problem is because I planned on having like maybe 3 of these traps. They're going to be at different points. Hmm. I guess I'm going to have to call it trap A. Magic trap A. And I'm not going to prefab these. Because if I've got multiple, the points are going to be different. Object to spawn. Correct. Spawn there. Oh my god. One second, guys. I think it's... Oh, got it. I don't need to do any of this. It's because I didn't have the rigid body. There we go. Right, so... Get a rigid velocity, so we're going to get the Y. Create vector 2. Get the movement speed. Okay. So that should, because it's a positive, it's a 5. Oh, nice, dude. It's nice when, honestly, every little thing you do in game making is a little win when you get something working. It's a very rewarding feeling. Congratulations, dude. Cherish the moment. Right, now because my movement speed is 5, I believe that's going to make it go right. Whereas if I had that negative, it should go left. So let's just test this. Should work now. Whoa! Oh, it dropped like a sack of shit. Oh god. Simulated. What does that do? I'm going to go 0 on the gravity scale. That should hopefully mean that it won't go up, won't go down. It should stay. I believe. Let's test it. There we go. Look at it go. Come back. Okay, so now, remember I was saying about the negative value, guys. So let's do -5. And then that should make it go left. As expected. Fantastic. Dude, that is cool. That's amazing. Right, so that is the movement. Okay, so that handles the movement of the projectile. Okay, so I believe that is it for that graph. No, it's not actually. So we need to do 2 things. I'm just going to make a note of these. So Hold on, did that actually spawn in the mouth? Let me just double check. That's so freaking cool, man. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're in the script graph of the magic projectile. So, hold on a second. Right, so we need to go back into the trap magic projectile. And this needs to have the tag projectile. Okay. So basically, we've now got a tag for the projectile. So is a trigger. So what we need to do, I'm just trying to think here, guys. Oh, what do we need to do? 1 second. So we have the projectile, we have it moving. Right, so we need to set limit spawn of 1 unless none exist. Handle collision on wall. Handle collision on player. Deal 10% damage, maybe. Okay, so box collider is a trigger. It has the tag projectile, and then the player has the tag player. So if I go back to the script graph, so let's first off handle the collision with the player. I just need to check pickups, health potion. Okay. So we'll handle the health being deducted from the player in here, and we'll handle the projectile getting destroyed when the player touches it, similar to how the health potion has it. So if I just copy this, and then go back to that, paste that there. So on trigger, so when the trigger is entered by the player, yeah? So when the trigger is entered and it's the player, whoa, we will destroy the object, which is the projectile. We could just test that works. It works. See that, guys? Perfect. Okay, so at the moment, when this is correct, so we've got it when it hits the player, it destroys. But then it's like we need a separate trigger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a I'm going to create an empty, and I'm going to call this projectile wall. So remember, this is the test area. So I'm going to add a collider. Okay. And if I do that as OO, sorry, I did it again, didn't I? 0.5, 0.5, there we go. The scale needs to be on the Y. If I just do 8, 7, maybe 6, 6. And then the offset, if I do that at 1, 2, 3, there we go. Okay, so temporarily got a projectile wall, okay? And I'm going to give this the tag of projectile wall. Okay? So essentially, when the projectile comes out of here and it hits that, it should destroy itself. Okay? So going back to the code of this, I should be able to do an or. Dude, I just want to copy that bit. I hate the nodes. I hate the nodes on. Oh, I just hate the nodes, dude. Right. So what we're saying is, if it hits the wall or hits the player, it should destroy itself. So let's just save that. Getting tired, guys. Been going 2 hours. Let's test it. No. Why are you not working? Projectile wall is there. It is a trigger. Why are you not working? I'm wondering if it's because it was overlapping the platform. No. Interesting. So if the projectile, right, so maybe it's because, I'll tell you what, let's just get rid of that. I'm just gonna have another one. Oh my dude. Exact same. Let's see if that works. Why is it not working? On trigger, enter 2D. Dude, it has the tag. Are you joking? Are you taking the piss? Are you taking the piss? Oh, dude, I didn't have the tag assigned. Are you serious, dude? Oh my god. Oh my god. So that would have worked. Oh, dude, why? Unity, you make my blood boil at times. Let's try that again, shall we? Now it should work. Yes! Hey! Fantastic. So they're getting destroyed. If we go back to the hierarchy, you can see I create those, they're getting destroyed. Awesome. Really cool. I can't believe it. Something as simple as forgetting to just apply the tag to the game object. So annoying. I am tired, guys. It is nearly, well, it's basically midnight. So I think you can let me off on that one. Okay, so let's go back one more time. So we have, at the moment, this is handling it correctly. So if it hits the wall or the player, it destroys. Okay? We have the movement being handled, and this is the destruction being handled. So I'm going to put these in a comment. Handles destruction of projectile on contact with wall or the player. So I'm going to give that color code red because it's red. Movement, I like giving yellow for movement, guys. I don't know why. Yellow I associate with stamina. So, yellow for movement, red for dead, basically. So handles the destruction, whether it's the player or the projectile wall. This handles the movement. So now, handle collision on the wall. Handle collision on the wall. I can delete that. Handle collision on the player. So we've got it there, but we need to now go out of here. Go into the player. And... oh, hold on. What's the tag? Projectile. Okay. Right, so go to the player. Script graph. So we're going to now add a row here. That's going to basically if I copy this code. Oh, dude. so annoying when it does that. Right, copy that. I'm going to paste this here, and I'm just going to adjust it. So, right. So when the player enters the trigger of the projectile, we're going to subtract I think I'm going to go for 10 health. 10%. Set the variable of that. Are we going to do knockback or not? Are we going to do a little bit of knockback? What do you reckon, guys? Yeah, you know what? Let's do some knockback. God, that's such a long bit of code just for a tiny thing. And then that plugs into over here. And we're going to call this magic trap. Right, so let's test it works. So we should get 10 knockback, pushing us leftwards. We should go red, and we should take 10% damage to our health. Let's give it a go, baby. Interesting. Player death. So I'm only triggering that when I hit the slime, but we need something to say We need something in here to say if player health equals yeah, that does need to be done. Player death. So that instantly kills the player. Oh god. Right, so on the slime, we should be after the hit animation. So if I move this across and then do trigger custom event and say player death. So even if it doesn't mean it's going to happen, because the only thing that happens in player death is if the health is below 0. That's the only time that's actually going to trigger the reload. So it's fine to have that in there. It just covers us so that if the player does go to 0 health, they'll die. So we've already got it in there. Oh my god. I hate these lines aren't straight. It really, really winds me up. Oh, dude. I hope Unity sort that out, because it's just... Oh. Right, so enemy slime. Enemy slime. We have the player death in there. We have it in there for the trap. We know that instantly would kill the player. And we have it down here as well. So if I now save the game and test this. Oh my god. Yeah, I died. Why did it not set my... I think I know why. Player hit animation. That's the hit. Whereas in here, the hit animation is basically kind of, I mean, it shouldn't override the other one. Moonwalking slime. Okay, so basically, bug fix to do. Hit animation red conflicting with red if player health is 0. So that's a little bug fix to myself to do. Yeah, it's annoying why he does that, dude, because I've got it so that if he's going left, his animation will be facing left. If he's going right, it goes right. For some reason, it's something I can fix further down the line, but it's quite funny that it does it at the minute. Right, so we have handled the just going over what we've done so far with this magic trap. On the script graph, we have handled the destruction of the projectile. So what we're doing is we're stopping lots of instances of the projectile being spawned in the game and staying in the game. We need them to get destroyed, or else it's just going to consume performance and affect things. So we're basically in that code where we're saying if it hits the player or it hits the wall that I've put in, it will destroy the projectile. And then we have the movement of the projectile being handled here. Very short and simple code. Literally, that is the code. Right, and then, so that is the movement and the destruction of the projectile. And then under the player code, we have handled the collision with the player and the projectile, and it deals 10% damage to the player, and it applies a small amount of knockback to the player, similar to how the slime does up the top here, except I'm not adding height to the player, I'm just adding a side knockback. With the slime, I wanted it so the player would kind of get knocked back sideways and slightly upwards. I did have a look at it, dude, but I'm not going to get it. I did have a look. It does look cool, but yeah, I just don't think I'm going to have time or the money to kind of play around with it, to be honest. I've got 3 games to make. I'm under quite a lot of pressure. Deadlines are in April, and it's literally going to be March soon. So I'm making really good progress on this platform, which is the good thing. So yeah, I might just use some music assets instead. So going back to the code, we deal 10% life damage to the player and small knockback. So handle collision with the player, deal damage. So now what we need to do is on the trap magic, this is where the trap, this little beautiful trap here, will spawn the projectile. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to basically have on update. Okay, so what this is going to do, it's going to work on game tick, essentially. And instead of me pressing E to spawn the projectile, what we're going to do is we're going to hold on 1 second, hold on. Spawn limit, current spawn. I'm going to add another variable called current spawn. Alright, spawn limit integer. Okay, so pay attention to what I'm doing here, guys. So this is the last bit for the trap. This is the fun bit. This is essentially the automated bit with the projectile. Because at the moment, I've had it so for testing purposes, I can press a key button and I can spawn as many projectiles as I want. But we don't want that. We want this trap to automatically fire a projectile. So essentially, it will spawn one, and then when it's destroyed, it will spawn another. Okay. So for that, we're going to do an on update event. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to hold on a minute. Right, we're going to get the current spawn. Okay, so that means how many projectiles are currently in the game. And by default, I've set it to 0, so there's no projectiles. So we're going to get an if branch, okay? And then we're going to say if the current spawn is equal, hold on, we needed a scalar, equal I'll tell you what, we'll just do literal. Float literal. No, integer literal. Okay, so we're basically saying if the current spawn equals 0, that's the condition. If that is true, we're going to spawn a projectile. And then we're going to hold on a minute. And then we're going to get the current thing, and then we're going to set. Okay, so you see what's happening there? We're basically saying at the start of the game, on every tick, we're going to get the current spawn. If the spawn is 0, spawn a projectile, and then add 1 to the current spawn. But we want to set a limit. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. I need to just think about this. Hold on. Okay, I got it. So we need to have a boolean. So on update, no, I think that's right. Hold on. Right, let's talk through the logic. On game tick, if the current spawn is it, what the fuck? What? What the fuck just happened there? That was weird. That was fucking weird. Did you see that? The code just disappeared. What the fuck? That was really weird. Okay, sorry. Start again. Talk through the logic. Right. So, by default, the current spawn is set to 0. We are only going to spawn a projectile if the current spawn is 0. Is equal to 0. Which means, if it is, then we spawn a projectile. And then we add one to the current spawn, which would then prevent us from spawning more because the value is above 0, which means, oh, hold on, current spawn is 0. I guess the only way we're going to be able to change the current spawn, we need to have something. Current spawn projectile, current spawn is 1. That's not going to let us spawn more than 1 because there's nothing elsewhere to it kind of needs to be a scene one because one second, let me just test this. If I press play, that should spawn. If we watch the left screen. Okay. We need to change that and make that a scene variable. Current projector, right. Current projectile spawn. Set that as an integer. 0. Current spawn, current projectile spawn. Current projectile spawn. Okay, current projectile spawn. Set current projectile spawn. Current projectile spawn. Right, so go up to here. Remove the current spawn. Spawn limit is 1. I don't even need to have this spawn limit. So what we now... So you see what's happening here. If it's 0, we spawn 1. And then we add 1, so it stops it from spawning. But we need to have something in the destruction of the projectile to say when it's dead, -1. We basically need to get this, copy that, go into the here and destruction. So in here, paste that, minus, so this is going to be subtract scalar -1. That goes in there. That goes in there. Are you ready for the moment of truth, guys? Are you ready? Okay, so we're saying in the destruction of the projectile, we're going to subtract 1 from the current projectile spawn and destroy the object. Are you ready? This is the moment of truth. The moment of truth. The moment we've all been waiting for, guys. Now, this should, by default, this should keep spawning. If we watch that left screen, it should keep spawning. Yes, baby! Oh, baby, I've done it. I have done it. Moonwalking slime is on the go. Dudes, I have got my projectile trap. I am so happy with that. So happy with that. Dude. Moonwalking slime. Oh my god. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so happy. I created that, guys. I didn't do the art for it, but I coded that. I'm so happy. Right, so basically, the code at the moment, I can't really replicate it. Well, I could, but it kind of has to be different in a way, because essentially, for this section, like I wanted to. This wasn't originally like I was planning on having like some dart traps, which I thought would be pretty cool. Like poison dart traps, but I don't know. I just fancied a little bit of magic in my dungeon platformer. So I just thought it was cool to add that in. So I'm really happy with that. So we have that, and if we go on the left on level 1, we can watch. Why is that not? Normally it shows here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I'm so happy with that, dude. Simple code. Look, that is the code. It's so small, like really simple. It's that simple, guys. All I have is one variable there. Current projectile spawn. So we're only allowing, if there isn't any projectile at the start of game, it creates one. So it has to be 0 to create a spawn. So when the game starts, there isn't one. It spawns when it adds 1 to the projectile, and then in the projectile code, we've said when it's destroyed, we -1. So that's kind of what creates the looping of that code. So because it's a scene variable, it's accessible across all the different scripts of the different game objects. So that's how we're able to get that working. But I'm really so happy with that. So simple. I've got the trap. Surprised how long it took, but it's worth it. Like, just to have that is so cool. It's so cool. Like, I don't even think you... Like, if I was to add a sound effect for every time... I mean, I could have a sound effect for every time it's fired. But then it might be a bit too much. Like, you can overdo things. Like, because this game is so small, it's like, it's very small. So if I was spawning the sound there, because I do have some things. Hold on. Yeah, so you have play clip at point. It's kind of like, is that going to be heard throughout the whole game all the time? That's why I'm kind of like, should I add a sound effect in for it being fired? I mean, it'd be good to have it fired just once at the start. If I just go onto my sound effects, footsteps hit lava. I think I'm going to leave it without sound effects for the moment. I don't feel it needs it just yet. I think that's going to be a polishing thing to the game, because if I put that in now, if there's like I forgot what the word for it is. It's like the proximity to the sound. Like, you don't want the sound to just drown everything mixing together. You want to have them kind of proximity based, so you would only hear that sound from the trap firing that magic if the player is within a certain proximity. So I'm probably going to leave that until the last stage, because at the moment I have the trap functioning. Like, I've put it in place, I've set up the code, it does the damage, it does the knockback, it destroys on hitting the player or hitting the trigger that I put in there. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah, really happy with that. We can always change the colour of it as well, guys. So if I go on the magic trap, the sprite, I can change the colour of it to kind of fit the environment. So, you know, I was just thinking of the layer actually. If I put the sprite as layer 1, that magic projectile zero. So that is 0 in the layer, and the trap is 1. So it's above it. So that should mean perfect. Can you see that, guys? It's now spawning. It now looks like it's coming out of the mouth because I've adjusted the layer there. So essentially the trap head is, it's on top of the layer of the projectile. So the projectile is basically behind the head. So it appears like it's coming out of its mouth. So whoa! Oh, the slime doing that makes me laugh. Okay. Yeah, so there's other things I could do. Obviously, we can jump through that at the moment. If I put on, like, I don't know, a rigid body or something. So I don't want the player to really be able to jump on top of it. I'm not sure. Hold on. Why am I taking... What? Why am I taking damage when I run into that? Projectile wall. Oh! No way. No way. No. Oh my god, no way. Do you see what's happening there? I was taking damage because I touched the wall, even though in here I'm saying contains projectile. The projectile wall obviously contains projectile, so it needs to be string equals I can't believe that. That's a little learning curve though. So if string contains projectile, even though it's projectile wall, that's really funny. So I'm basically restricting that to say if the string is just projectile, then we do that. So that's very tricky. So the projectile wall tag contains projectile, which is why I was taking damage. Let's just test that. That is cheeky. Very, very cheeky. Let's test that. That's funny. Fixed it. That was a pretty good bug. That's definitely something I'm going to remember when going by tags. I use tags quite a bit with collisions and checking the tags. That's really funny. Okay, so we fixed that. So what was the bug? Player took damage on projectile. So because the projectile wall contained the perfect. So I've done a bug fix there, guys. I unintentionally created a bug, and then at the same time I fixed it, and that was quite quick to fix. Right. So what have we done tonight? What have I done? How has it taken me that long? 2 hours 52. We can round that up to 3 hours. So we've created some platforms. So we've got some Jumpthru platforms, wooden platforms. They look pretty cool. I'm happy with those. Yeah, so we've got the Jumpthru platforms. We added those in. We've created a magic test area. I call it a magic test area. We've basically just copied some platforms and put them in place to represent a concealed area for testing the magic trap. We have created our magic trap with the cool snake head. We created a prefab for the projectile, and the code is fairly straightforward. So yeah, it's very straightforward, to be fair. The code is not that complicated. And yeah, we've done the jump through platforms. We've created the trap. It shoots a magic projectile. We've made it so it can't shoot more than once. I mean, I could potentially change that, because as you noticed, if we were to basically, sorry, I'm tired. If we were to basically be in front of the projectile and just hit the projectile, the moment it's destroyed, it spawns another one. So you saw at one point I kind of instantly died because I think I jumped on the projectile as it was spawning a trap. I jumped on the trap as it was spawning a projectile, and because I destroyed it because I'm the player, it immediately kind of spawned tons. So that's something we could fix, because essentially you want it to kind of spawn a projectile. You almost want it to have a delay. So whether that's a 4-second delay before it spawns one, so you don't have that happening again, because you saw what happened. The player can kind of almost not bug it out, but it just doesn't appear to function right, like it wouldn't. And if you think of any other game, like Sonic's the prime example, the traps fire, and then if you were to get hit by a trap, it wouldn't then fire another one straight away. Like, they're normally on like a timer. So I might do that. I might add that as a bug fix to do. So we're going to call that projectile spawn, set timer in between shots, maybe 4 to 5 seconds. At the moment, player can bug trap to spawn lots by jumping in front of it. Do we need to hold on? Add block to trap so I can't jump through. Okay, right, I think I'm going to call the stream there, guys. Add magic statue trap. So I can get rid of that. Add the magic statue trap. Okay, I did want to cover the checkpoint. What did I say my live stream was going to cover today? Jump through. What does the stream title say, guys? Jump through platforms, magic projectile trap, and maybe vertical spike trap. So I've done 2 of the things, and the third thing was a maybe. It is pretty much 1 in the morning, and I've got to be up in 5 hours. So I have done what I set out to achieve. I'm just really surprised that it's taken 3 hours. but it's in there, and now that it's in there, I can create that multiple times. I've got my jump through platforms, so I think the next stream, which I might do tomorrow night whilst it's fresh, I'll possibly look into doing the vertical spike trap, and what was the other one? Checkpoint. I wanted to have a checkpoint. I also have the lava. I have a lava hazard that I wanted to do. Oh god, I'm so tired. Yeah, I've got a lava hazard that I wanted to add into the game. It's basically like just a lava hazard, and when the player jumps in it, they take damage. But they don't just take damage; like they take burn damage afterwards as well. So that'd be quite cool. That won't be too hard to code either. I'd probably deal like maybe I'd say maybe 25% damage or 20% damage to the player for landing in the lava, and then maybe it would deal, I don't know, another 5% every second, or no, 1% every second for 5 seconds. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Um, so I think that's it. So jump through platforms and magic projectile trap done. Thanks for watching tonight, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not been too boring, and I hope you've learned something, maybe. If you did, you want to tune back in, feel free to. You can give us a follow on Twitch to stay up to date. You can also subscribe on YouTube. I post all of the game devs after the streams right there, so they're archived, so you can watch them back at any point. And make sure you tune back in tomorrow night, because I will do some more live stream of this Unity project, so we can get some more mechanics in, get a bit more closer to getting everything functioning, and then we can literally deck out the level, put everything in place, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I will see you in the